Welcome back, trainers! So we're going to be discussing Skuntank. Yeah, I know that might sound a little funny that I'm covering this Pokemon, but you'll be surprised on actually how well it can perform, especially as a gym defender. So let's get right into this. And before we get started, don't mind the horrible dodging. There was an egg about to hatch, and I was in quite a rush to take this out. Alright, so here we have Skuntank. It's going to be evolving from Stunky. Now this is a somewhat unique Pokemon, seeing it is poison and dark. The dark type is not going to be weak to fighting since it is going to be part poison. Let's go ahead and go over the stats and discuss what it should be used for. Max CP at 100% IV, 2,358, attack 184, defense 132, and stamina 230. And that's what we need to pay attention to. If you don't know what stamina is by now, that is the HP, hit points, health. How much hits you can take in battle, okay? And if you don't know the difference between defense and stamina, defense is how the Pokemon can absorb that damage. If it has higher defense, it's not going to take as much, right? If it has lower, then that hit's going to do a lot more damage to it. The HP, it's just giving it that survivability within the battle. All right, so its best moveset is going to be Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb with a DPS cycle of 17.24. So it is on the low end, but don't let it go quite yet. Let's go over this. It's going to be weak to just ground types. Normally, Dark would be weak to fighting and bug, but it is poison, so it is going to be blocking that off, and it's going to be resisting Dark, Ghost, Grass, Poison, and Psychic types. So not bad for the weaknesses and resistances. It's already looking sort of good. Best movesets are going to be, like we went over, Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb. Next is going to be Bite, Sludge Bomb, Poison Jab, Crunch, Bite, Crunch, Poison Jab, Flamethrower, and Bite, Flamethrower. Now, all of the charge moves are multiple bars, making it a somewhat decent gym defender. Plus, all of that HP, stamina, is going to make it, somewhat of an annoying Pokemon to take out, especially if you're not using ground types like Rhydon or Groudon, right? So, let's go over the moves that you might want to put on it for attacking and then gym defending. Now, personally, for attacking, you might want to go with Poison Jab. Now, if you run into Pokemon like Metagross with, Steel type, Poison's not going to be very effective to it. You can go with Flamethrower for coverage as well as Crunch, or you can just use Bite and bite your way through that Metagross. Although Flamethrower is not bad, it does come in heavy and fast. Sludge Bomb does come in quick as well, and so does Crunch. It kind of has a slow windup. So the best defense moveset I would probably think is going to be Poison Jab for sure, because that's doing more damage, and if you have cloudy weather, wherever you're at, it's going to be doing a lot more. Okay, now as a gym defender, what is it weak against? Ground types, right? So we have Sludge Bomb and Flamethrower, not very effective to ground types, so you can put those on it as a defender, but personally you might want to go with maybe Poison Jab for that extra damage, and then Crunch so it can do neutral damage to those ground types. Just a thought. All of the above actually work personally. The only thing you don't really want as a gym defender on this Pokemon is Bite. Everything else works fantastic. But remember that if people want to use a super effective move against it, which is only going to be ground types, Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower are not going to be doing as much, as opposed to Crunch with that neutral damage, which will be dishing out more. On top of that, you're going to be getting stabs. So you are Dark type, so it works out perfectly. And then followed up by either Sludge Bomb or Flamethrower as a charge move for a defense. Now, going up against gyms, it just kind of depends what you see in there. I switched mine up from Flamethrower to Sludge Bomb when I went from one gym to the other. I wanted Flamethrower for a specific Pokemon that I seen in there, and that was going to be the Metagross towards the end to give me a bit of coverage. Poison Jab is always a solid move to have. That's why I put it on my Mew, because we always have cloudy weather as well, and it's going to get boosted. So it doesn't look bad as far as the moves go. Now, is it something you're going to absolutely want to power up? Definitely not. I didn't even touch the power up on mine. It is at a decent level. The only reason why is because I caught it like that, and I just simply evolved it, and it was like that. Bingo. No Stardust investment on this Pokemon personally for me, even if I got a lucky. If we take a look at Nidoking with the max CP at 2,386, attack 204, defense 157, and stamina 162. And let's go ahead and look at its weaknesses and see what its DPS cycle is. So it's actually going to be lower than Skuntank, because Skuntank does have multiple charge bar moves, and it's receiving stab from that Sludge Bomb. Not a bad move at all. Super good, comes in quick. Like I said, you probably want to put that on when you drop it in a gym. Now, Nidoking is going to be weak to ground, ice, psychic, and water. So it has 3 extra weaknesses as opposed to Skuntank. Now, Nidoking is resisting electric, poison, bug, fairy, fighting, and rock. Now, what we really need to pay attention to is its moves, because that is where it's going to be lacking. And unfortunately, that's why Nidoking is not so great, because it doesn't have multiple charge bar moves. Will it receive some sort of special day in the future? I don't think so. Maybe. The Nidoqueen did have one. We could possibly see a Nidoking raid day like the Gengar, because the possibilities are endless now that they're introducing non-legendaries into these raid days. I say 2 thumbs up. Excellent. That's something to look forward to. Little events like that. Niantic, keep it up. So what Nidoking has going for it is Mega Horn, Sludge Wave, Earthquake for its charge bar moves. So I mean, what do you want? Pick your options. Personally, you might want to go with Sludge Wave as a defender. Earthquake is extremely slow. Some people just don't know how to dodge it, but by now I think most do. Mega Horn is an option. If they're using Psychic types, you are going to get super effective onto them. Say they're using their Mewtwo or Alakazam, Espeon, something like that. Otherwise, if they're using water types, it's not going to do much, right? Tentacruel is another option here as a poison type defender, which I would say is extremely good. Let's just say that. As you can see, the defense stamina is not too bad. Max CP 2374, attack 166, defense 237. So as we were discussing before, it's not going to have as much health as Skuntank, but it's not going to be taking as much damage from each attack since it has all that defense. And I'm sorry for the people who already know this, but some others just need a little bit of explaining because they're new to the scene. Stamina 160, and its DPS cycle is going to be lower than Skuntank and Nidoking with Poison Jab and Hydro Pump. Alright, so another okay Pokemon to drop in a gym, considering once they get to that Tentacruel, it's not going to be doing super effective damage because it is poison type. So it is going to be weak to electric, ground, and psychic, resisting bug, fairy, fighting, fire, ice, poison, steel, and water. So Tentacruel is not a bad option as well. But once again, here we go, and why I choose Skuntank over this as a gym defender is because its charge bar moves are all 1, Blizzard, Hydro Pump, Sludge Wave. Just not great, because a lot of these trainers out here can just go in with the Raikou, take it out extremely quick. So multiple charge bars, always a plus. Skuntank for the win as a poison type defender. Now we can go over all of them, say Crobat as well, because that has multiple charge bars. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alright, now here we are with Crobat, one of my favorite poison types because it is so rounded and it is a fantastic Pokemon, and it also has a 4 times resistant. So max CP 2466, attack 194, defense 178, and stamina 170. And a DPS cycle is going to be higher than all of them with Air Slash and Sludge Bomb. It is already winning as one of the best poison type gym defenders, weak to electric, ice, psychic, and rock. That rock weakness is no good because of those Tyrannotars everybody has. Now it's going to be having a 4 times resistant to bug, fighting, and grass. I mean, that is quite amazing. I mean, that's so good. When PvP comes out, remember Crobat. And I can't stress it enough for the people who watch me. Remember that, okay? And then resisting also fairy, ground, and poison type, okay? Now let's take a look at its moves with Air Slash and Sludge Bomb. Then we have Air Slash, Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball, if you're wondering why, it's weak to Psychic, and that's a great counter, seeing that it's also a 2 charge bar move for 100 massive damage. Crobat's attack isn't bad, so when they do get hit by it, or even if they dodge, it's going to do a fairly good amount of damage. Also countering its weakness with a Bite, Dark move, and then Sludge Bomb, Air Slash, Air Cutter. Air Cutter is not the best option, but then again, it is going to be continuously hitting them over and over again. And then you have Bite, Shadow Ball, Bite, and Air Cutter. Now, personally, when I drop it in a gym, probably going to go with Air Slash and Sludge Bomb. I do have a Shadow Ball one, I think, but either or, Sludge Bomb or Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball might be the better one, seeing that they probably will use Psychic types. If anything, they'll use Tyrannotars. So Sludge Bomb, not very effective. Air Cutter, not very effective. So it doesn't matter. Might as well be safe and go with Shadow Ball. If you're not using it to attack gyms and stuff like that, you're better off with Sludge Bomb for sure, and then Air Slash. Muck comes in and steals the spotlight from everybody. Now, keep in mind also that the CP on some of these Pokemon are going to fluctuate. At the end of the day, after the rework, they're still going to be playing their position. just the way they were doing before. If anything, maybe a little bit better. Okay, so we have a max CP for Muck 2,709, attack 190, defense 184, and stamina 210. So the stamina is getting up there right next to Skuntank, and it's going to have a DPS cycle of 17.45 with Poison Jab and Gunk Shot, and it's going to be weak to ground and psychic, resisting bug, fairy, fighting, grass, and poison. You also have the Alolan Muck as well. Now, the only bad thing about Muck is it, once again, one charge bar move. So let's go ahead and look at that. Gunk Shot, Sludge Wave, Dark Pulse is a 2 charge bar move, and it's not bad at all because you are weak to Psychic type. Dark Pulse is going to be super effective. I would think you may want to do the Alolan Muck, seeing you're going to be getting stabbed to that. Alright, so quick moves for gym dropping, possibly Infestation, once again covering those Psychic types. Poison Jab is also not a bad option. You're going to be getting stabbed, and if it has cloudy weather out, boost on that. So personally, when you drop a Muck in a gym, Infestation, Dark Pulse. If you're attacking, Poison Jab and Gunk Shot all the way. We have arrived to the best poison type gym defender here. You could say Crobat. Muck isn't going to be that #1 spot because, I mean, it doesn't get stabbed from the dark move. So same stats as the regular Muck. Now let's go ahead and look. DPS cycle 17.45, just like the other one, Poison Jab and Gunk Shot. It's going to be weak to just ground because it is dark type as well, resisting dark, ghost, grass, poison, and psychic. Now let's go ahead and take a look at its moves. Now poison types are one of my favorite, really. Best moveset is going to be Poison Jab, Gunk Shot, Poison Jab, Sludge Wave, Bite, and Gunk Shot, and then Poison Jab, Dark Pulse. Alright, so Poison Jab and Bite for its quick moves, and charge moves, Gunk Shot, Sludge Wave, Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse, like I said, you're going to be getting stabbed this time around, doing a little bit more damage, seeing that the regular Muck and the Alolan Muck are the exact same thing as far as stats are concerned. It's going to be performing a little bit better there. Although the regular Muck is going to be resisting fighting a lot better than the Alolan. But nonetheless, it should almost equal out the same. Alright, so Gym Defender for the Alolan Muck, Poison Jab and Dark Pulse. And if you're attacking, Poison Jab and either Dark Pulse or Gunk Shot, depending on what you're going up against. So we can't forget Gengar, which is part Poison type. The only thing it's lacking is that quick Poison type move. So its best moveset is going to be Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, 25.4 DPS. That's obviously not Poison type moves, but we'll go over that. It's going to be weak to Dark, Ghost, Ground, Psychic, resisting Fighting, Bug, Normal, Poison, Fairy, and Grass. Now it does have a 4 times resistant to Fighting, which is an A+. Also resisting Poison, Normal, and Bug. So I mean, that's pretty good there, I suppose. Now let's go ahead and look at its moves. It does have 2 charge bar poison moves, one being a legacy, in hopes that it would turn lucky. As you can see, the move pool is just gigantic. I mean, look at this massive move pool. Now let's go look at the moves here. So no quick poison moves, which it would be a fantastic poison attacker. It still can be with Sludge Bomb, so that is an option as another poison type defender, as well as resisting that fighting type, because 4 times it is ghost and poison. If you're going to drop it in a gym and the intent as a poison defender, you may want to go with Hex and then Sludge Bomb. Seeing that we're going to have that Gengar Day, and or if it already happened and you're watching this afterwards, Lick and Sludge Bomb work great too. Although the best moveset you're going to want on a Gengar is just simply going to be Shadow Claw and Lick for your quick move, and for your charge move, Shadow Ball. So we have arrived to the #1 poison type defender. That is going to be Roserade, evolving from Roselia. This is going to be a grass and poison type, a Gen 4 Pokemon that is not yet released. But get ready because, well, we all have their Roserades and we are ready to go. So this is going to have a max CP of 2,971, attack 243. Do you see that attack? Defense 185 and stamina 155. Roserade, you are just so good. Best moveset is going to be Poison Jab and Solar Beam with a DPS cycle of 22.92. And it's going to be weak to Flying, Fire, Ice, and Psychic, resisting Grass, Electric, Fairy, Fighting, and Water. Let's go ahead and look at the moves to see what we have going on for the #1 poison type in the game. So you have, let's go ahead and just look at the moves here. Sludge Bomb, Poison Jab, and there you go. That is it. It's going to be so good. Razor Leaf and Solar Beam, it's going to be strong as well. but it's not going to take the #1 spot as a grass attacker. It's going to be coming extremely close, and it just might pull up in front. But right now we're focused on the poison. It is going to take the cake. No matter what, it's going to be your #1 option. So if you have those Roselias, hold on to them. Hold on to your shinies. If you don't have a shiny yet, maybe you can go out there and trade somebody to get one, because this is going to be a great addition once it enters Pokemon Go. Right, so we're going to wrap up this video. There is obviously other Pokemon out there that are poison type that I did not cover, like Venusaur with Sludge Bomb. That also can be a good gym defender as well, seeing that it is fairly tanky. We have Victory Bell. That's can also be another good one, but we're gonna stick to grass for that for now, and so on. Survivor, I do have a 100, which look at that CP too. It's not going to be a great gym defender, obviously. That's why I didn't cover all these. So, and on a final note, Wheezing, I'm sorry I left you out, buddy, but this is also going to be a somewhat decent gym defender with Sludge Bomb and Infestation. So if you do have a powered up Wheezing, didn't mean to leave it out. Yes, that is going to be a great one as well. So keep that in mind. If you have one, you can probably drop that in a gym. All right. So it's going to be week 2 Psychic and Ground types. So with that said, trainers, I hope you enjoyed this video. There you have it. Skuntank. Where does it fall amongst all these poison types? Should you power it up? I don't recommend investing Stardust, okay? Try to just catch a high CP one and just evolve it. If you get a lucky, you know, go ahead and splurge a little if you enjoy this Pokemon. But yeah, it's going to do okay as a gym defender. It has a good amount of HP. But yeah, thought I'd just bring you this information about the old Skuntank. And just look at that animation. Such a weird thing for it. I mean, what? It's kind of strange. All right, thank you for watching, trainers. And I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.